Hello everyone, welcome to my first video of 2026 and I hope that everybody has had a great start to the new year. Now in this video we will be analyzing some of the details of what we can see in the Assetto Corsa EVO teaser trailer for the Eiffel free roam. Let's get into it. Now right off the bat we start with some driving action on the Nordschleife with a Porsche being called into the pit lane by the pit crew. This is also very interesting because this may indicate that there will be some sort of native chat feature within the game, whether that is only going to be for racing scenarios, having communication with your pit crew, or if that is going to be a general chat feature that would be more catering, or at least catering more towards the free roam aspect of the game. We'll have to wait and see. But as you can see here, the detailing looks absolutely wonderful. So there seems to be more sort of like trackside pit lane detailing going on here, more animations from the characters, from the NPCs, if you will, in the actual pit box here. And that is definitely going to add to the immersion. Now, obviously, what most people are going to be interested in are the surrounding areas of the Nordschleife. Here we can see the massive conference and events building of the Nürburgring. And what's interesting here is not just the amount of detail that we can see, but we've got some people that are standing on the sidewalk premises there, and we have vehicles driving around as well, which indicates that we are going to have traffic in this game. Now, to what degree we have that traffic, we obviously don't know. But what's going to be very important is if the traffic behavior and detailing is going to be good or bad. Obviously, if it's good, we're going to have a lot of immersion and, just some extra, it's just going to be that extra wow factor detailing in the free roam. But on the other hand, if it's not good, if it's buggy, the AI is weird, the driving from the from the traffic isn't realistic, that's going to be an immersion killer. And of course, the detailing around the area looks really good from the teaser trailer. Here we have the Nürburg Castle, or the castle ruins, on the very tippity top of the Nürburg Hill. And that is hopefully an area that you can access with the free roam. Not sure if there's going to be, some sort of like, getting out of the car and actually exploring the castle ruins. That's probably a step too far, but to be driving around at the very footsteps of this area will be really cool. And then what's really interesting with this nighttime footage of the surrounding village, there's a lot of action going on, again, traffic on the roads, animations from people. So there's obviously, there's a lot of lively things going on around here. This is a very beautiful shot, by the way. We've got the traffic in the back there. Not sure why the lights are yellow. It's almost like the, that like race car yellow lights there, but nevertheless. But this is a great shot, and this shows sort of like this, the cinematic detailing and the immersion that would be possible in areas like this. So this just looks great. I'm not too familiar with the surrounding areas of the Nordschleife or the Eifel region. I do live pretty close to the Eifel region, but I haven't been there much at all. However, this does look, at least going by, sort of like cross-checking this with what's on Google Maps, it looks to be very accurate. And again, with the traffic, hopefully the traffic behaves correctly in these areas, which would be excellent again for immersion. But this looks fantastic. I don't have any complaints with what I'm currently seeing here from this particular footage in the teaser trailer. Then we also have this here. What's very interesting to see the traffic over there, pretty dense, but it does look like there is a bit of pop in there. So that might be a, it may depend on the amount of horsepower you have in your PC to be able to run a lot of the traffic. Maybe that's just how it is, by default. And that's just how it's going to be, sort of like a texture streaming feature that they may have for the traffic popping in and out, and hopefully it is seamless and nothing too invasive that may kill immersion. But yeah, here we see quite a bit of near track detailing with some accommodation, a restaurant. I believe that's another restaurant as well. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see whether we can interact with any of these things, whether that would be with other players, or, you know, with yeah, NPCs around the track, or you know, just having some stuff to do around here would be pretty cool. And again, some more traffic detailing, some nice driving through the forest. I think that would be really, really cool, just to see more driving that happens a bit further away from the Nordschleife, something that's a bit more of a detachment from the racing, performance driving part of it, and something that's just more about relaxing, enjoying the drive on a B road. This would be absolutely spectacular to see. And you know, here we can also see a little bit more traffic, these wonderful hay bales in great detail. And of course, we also have a cow. Now, in true Assetto Corsa fashion, with these type of mods that we see with Assetto Corsa 1, in order for this to be a true competitor, we will have to be able to drive these cows. Now, whether they're going to have 5, 10, perhaps 15 brake cow power, that remains to be seen. But jokes aside, guys, it's great to see this kind of detail. So there will be a lot of animations, a lot of things happening in the world to add to the immersion. The grass detailing looks amazing here. The surrounding detailing in the distance looks really good as well. I also like this sort of like the blur going on. Something that's actually an interesting factor here would be if there is actually sort of like convincing blurring happening in the distance. That can actually help performance a bit, so that you know, maybe not too much detailing into the distance can be rendered, but rather have sort of like a convincing blur to mask that. That could be something that we see. And of course, the detailing of the vehicles passing by is also, you know, great. So one of the big questions here will be, what is the performance going to be like? Now, whether Kunos implements or has already implemented a sophisticated rendering method for this, like, you know, that involves texture streaming and maybe some other advanced methods, we might see not too much of a performance dip from the current content and tracks that we have in the game. So far, I haven't seen a big difference when driving on the Nordschleife versus driving on like Brands Hatch or any of the other tracks. Loading does take obviously a little bit more time, but for the actual performance on track, I don't see a big difference at all, but if any in some cases. So hopefully that's going to be a big focus that they're going to have for this, and it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. So here we actually see a Porsche driving on a section of the Autobahn surrounding the area, and there's actually music playing. There's a vibe happening here. There's music playing in the car, and there's a lot of, you know, it's got that really, like, it's got that strong car culture thing going on there, and that may indicate that we get some sort of like music service integration in the game as well. That would be fantastic, but it could also just be some predefined tracks. That is the teaser trailer for the Assetto Corsa EVO free roam update that will eventually come. Not sure when it's gonna come. It could be much later this year, could be earlier. They may surprise us. But it's going to be very interesting to see how the performance will be, because that's definitely been a question for whether that's actually going to perform well or not. Hopefully there's some good general updates that come with that too, just to improve the game overall. And then we'll also have to see about modding. Now, they have spoken about modding. They have confirmed that there will be modding in AC EVO. How soon that comes, again, we don't know. But hopefully it's going to be a really good modding system that's, you know, fair for everybody, and just encourages good quality mods, and just to have a good system for implementing those mods. But yeah, that remains to be seen. Overall, looks good, looks great so far. I'm going to be optimistic about it. So there it is, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please give the video a like, and do consider subscribing. That would help out a lot. I would be very, very, very thankful for that. And yeah, do let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you skeptical? Are you optimistic? What are you hoping for? And what are you not hoping for from this update? Let's get the conversation going. Guys, I'll see you on the next video. And do pop into my streams when I go live as well. See ya.